What's up, YouTube? So I had a flashback about something that was really a trip when I think about it in hindsight. Rappers and talk show hosts and the language and how it was brought. The old clip with Jay-Z on Oprah, and you remember when there was a time when a rapper would come on the show and said talk show host was either trying to make light of the lingo or try to act like they understood it. They would tell you what they didn't like. They didn't like the N word being used. They didn't like women being called the B word. And the interesting wordplay between the two parties. I don't know if it depends on when you come along. If you were coming along today in social media era without any real talk shows and a post Oprah world and all the usual, yeah, it's nothing now to see a rapper on the couch with a talk show host or what have you. But there was a day and a time when that was kind of like interesting how that was going to set it off. When Ice T would sit on the couch or Ice Cube or LL Cool J, and some of them now when they be unscripted or on like podcasts and stuff. That's probably why a lot of them like podcasts because they got more liberation. Because when they were on TV, they had to kind of play to the cues and to the public. You never really got that side that you would get on the record, or it was the circumstances that made it seem like they were going to be dangerous. Easy E, NWA were on Arsenio, etc. But when they were interviewed, it was like, okay, so how do I separate the two? Are you like that? Or are we in danger? That is interesting when I think about rappers and talk show hosts and how that went down of the facade and the imagery and everything and how people would talk and how it was. And then when you look at it now, how it is. So it's a real interesting juggle that, how people perceive things at once upon a time and now how they perceive them now. You kind of like look at it and it's almost taken for granted, almost comical. But there was a time I do believe that some of the rappers were probably scaring some of those talk show hosts. And, people are assuming and they thinking everybody's going to be all kumbaya and all of it. Everybody ain't into it like that. So it was kind of interesting how the trajectory of it and what have you. But has it changed for you, when you look at it? This is an interesting topic because I haven't really explored it a lot, but it's something that I wanted to kind of like talk about. Um, rappers and talk show hosts and the perception and do you get it? Did you want to get it? How'd you feel about it? A lot of things about 90s culture, 80s, 90s culture. So those are last before social media took over and everything like that. But that whole mindset of seeing people out the element. Because I remember an old episode of Steve Harvey show when he had Snoop on there and he had Puffy on there. And he said, I'm not doing this East Coast, West Coast thing. And they were talking all cordial and low key. And, what the imagery was being presented as and what they came across as was like night and day. To some it was just like an acting job. But then again, how much is acting, how much is real? So this is an interesting topic about rappers on talk shows and perceptions and realities and how it seemed and how it appeared and then how people reacted to it and how you look at it in hindsight because it's so different from the way it was and then the reality of it. But if you remember any particular, like I remember seeing Ice T and Chuck D and different people on these shows, please let me know in the comments below. Do you think that the realities of it and what you're seeing and how it once appeared, because it wasn't that long ago? Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share if you like and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free, and my peace.